Just in, the government shutdown seems like it's a done deal. This has been one of the longest government shutdowns in recorded history for the United States, and it's created a lot of uncertainty in the markets. But as you know, a government shutdown is usually bad for everything else in the world. But for the stock market, it's great because it means less regulation, less interference from the United States, which actually isn't such a bad thing. But now that this news has been confirmed on a Sunday, we have a gap here for Bitcoin. We also have a gap here on the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, for Bitcoin and Ethereum. But it's not such a big deal. As Mike Myers would have said, as Linda Rons? No, I can't remember her last name, but no big whoop. Anyway. Now, a couple of things to pay attention to. Bitcoin printed TBT bullish divergences over here. The first one on Saturday at 1 a.m. and then Sunday at 5 a.m. And then we have a TBO Close short, which is awesome. Again, Sunday night, not that great, not good timing. But now that the price of Bitcoin is inside the 4-hour cloud, that's a pretty amazing sign. The price is also on track to tag the fast line. Now, the last time it did this, it touched the fast line and it got rejected by 11%. Trust me, I haven't quickly forgotten. These are great bullish moves that we're seeing. There's bullish growth happening. Volume isn't crazy over the weekend, but that's normal. But I am a little bit just cautious, okay? On the weekly time frame, we don't have any TBO close longs. Actually, it didn't even close last week here for BTC, which is surprising. So it closed up enough that that blue diamond went away, which is pretty wild. There is still overhead resistance. So if Bitcoin is going to close up here and touch the fast line, that's the first kind of watch and wait sign. It's another 1.5% above the price. And then overhead resistance, which is now at about 4.7% at $110,000 is the next target to watch. The slow line on the daily time frame has flattened out, which means that there's no real strong trend in either direction. Not yet, at least. So there is the potential for BTC to break above resistance. Now, going over here to Ethereum, this actually did something surprising yesterday. Closing up 5.35% is massive for Ethereum. That's a huge move, and it pushed above this level here. This is the low from October 10th. So pushing above 34.35 is great. Now it's going to be going up here to the fast line. I made a video on the Coin Bureau trading channel that once Ethereum has some sort of victory pump up here, this would be the spot to look to short. And it's also lining up with this resistance level. Well, now resistance, but then support level. So it feels a little bit like, oh boy, really? Okay. But again, the whole idea behind shorting is that I'm not trying to time the Pico top for any of these coins. I really just want to follow the momentum. And we know that there is overhead resistance as well. So if the price happens to shoot up a lot more, another 9%, there is weak resistance that's overhead. The main level is up here. It's another 18% above $4,000. So Ethereum is on track to move here up to $3,700, up to the fast line. We'll see what happens next. On the 4-hour time frame, it does have TBO close short. Both of these for Bitcoin and for Ethereum, they tell us that the price should fall back down to the fast line on the 4-hour to close it, but it doesn't have to happen immediately per se. On the weekly time frame, Ethereum also lost its close long, the blue diamond, like this one back over here. I want to be very, very clear and tell you that the symbols that show up on the weekly time frame, we can't say anything until that week has closed, because anything can happen in a week. If we just think about price action for Ethereum last week, wick to wick, on the bearish side, it dropped almost 22%. So seeing that TBO close long, this one in progress, makes a whole lot of sense. Also understand, this does not mean that Ethereum is just magically okay and everything's fine. It's had a really devastating drop, but we're finally starting to see signs of a recovery. Now, this is extremely exciting. A TBT Bearish Divergence has appeared on Sunday's close for combined stablecoin dominance. Same thing over here for stable.c.d. This is a big, big, big sign. And the reason why this is big is because if you watched my videos from last week, I made a big deal about pointing out the fact that up until the point from yesterday, we hadn't seen any of these signals as the price or the percentage of combined stablecoin dominance is going up higher and higher. But we have our first red triangle. And when we get our first one, that's letting us know, okay, maybe this uptrend might be coming to an end soon. Now, I'm going to feel a lot better when I see a blue diamond, which is a TBO close long on the daily time frame. We haven't seen one of those yet. So maybe we're going to see stablecoin dominance continue to drop. On the 4-hour time frame, we do have a close long right here, which is awesome. Bitcoin dominance on the 4-hour time frame had a TBT Bearish Divergence cluster confirmed Friday early morning. 2 TBO close longs, the price has fallen down. And it's just fallen down to the fast line. We also have our TBT Bearish Divergence on the daily. Just like back up here, that preceded a really nice drop in Bitcoin dominance. I have been expecting a drop for Bitcoin dominance, going a lot lower. The target, ever since I've drawn this line, I've been talking to the Better Traders Club people about this. When we got our TBT bullish divergences, I said, okay, well, the next thing to move up is Bitcoin dominance to around 61%. And it wicked way above 61, 63% over here on the 4th of November to 61.41%. But seeing this is a great sign that we should see Bitcoin dominance go lower. Now, before you start freaking out and getting excited, just understand, it's still bullish. On the weekly time frame, it got really close to pushing above overhead resistance. It's almost there, talking about this level right here for a weekly RSI. It's still in bearish consolidation. I am still expecting it to roll over. I don't know when it's going to happen, but that's the next expected outcome for this metric. Now, remember this. I made a video on Saturday. I was super excited, and you should be too, because a lot of charts have done really well over the weekend. Others dominance, this printed a TBO close short on Friday, pumping up 6.51%. For those of you that watch these videos every single day, you're awesome. And you should know by now that these orange diamonds, TBO close shorts, tell us two things. One, the bearish downtrend, which started back over here in early October, could be coming to an end soon. So consider taking some profits out of your short position once the price returns back to the fast line, which is currently at 7.05%. We've been waiting for others dominance to fall down a little bit further to close the close short right here. So this is all great. If we go back in time to July, this is actually what not preceded, but it started that rally. We had a quick snap back down to close that close short, and others dominance shot up 11% over 10 days, which is awesome. So we're in the beginning phases of seeing this happen. No other bullish signs to speak of on the weekly. On the 4-hour time frame, this is where things go. For others dominance and for total E100 dominance, or total E100 dominance, we have TBT bearish divergences on the 4-hour. It's not the end of the world as we know it, and you should feel pretty fine. But the last couple of times we've seen these print, they typically happen on big pumps. So it's letting us know there might be a correction for the others market cap, which honestly would be okay with me because then we get this closed. Then we can move up higher. TOTALE50 has a TBO close short, and we technically haven't touched the fast line. We'll probably see this follow as well. On the 4-hour time frame, there are no bearish reversal signs here for TOTALE50. So the difference between this one and this one is that TOTALE100 is basically super low caps below the 100 market cap ranking spot, whereas TOTALE50 is basically everything from top 50 to top 100. That's kind of the way you could think about it. Now, others against Bitcoin, others BTC, still looking good. It has a TBO close short here. We haven't seen it come down to touch the fast line. So we're waiting for this to finish this pattern. Keep in mind, this is the same setup, or almost the same. We didn't get a cluster last time, but the same setup that launched others BTC up 20% in 10 days. There's a little bit of a correction, but it moved up even higher. Over 2 months, 30% increase or 32% increase. I still think that we could be heading up higher. I still believe that we're going to be moving up higher, but it's going to take a little bit more energy, and it looks like BTC is going to be leading the rally just a little bit first. But this is normal in a recovery rally. We'll see Bitcoin leading, and then everything else is going to get squished because of the G-force. So we're going to see others and alts kind of do well. They're going to do okay, but they're going to lag a little bit behind BTC. So that's the long and short of it, bunch. So I'm still expecting alts to outperform Bitcoin in the short term. And BTC is just leading right now, which is awesome. You guys should be super pumped right now. And this is literally one of the best times to be a trader. It's been frustrating. It's been an exhausting market, but it does not mean that it hasn't been good for trading in both directions. If you need to know how to trade a market like this, check out 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. If you're more of the investor type, you're not as interested as like the day-to-day trading stuff, and you just want to take a zoomed out approach, go to masteringassets.com, check out the Complete Cryptocurrency Investor, and also the new course, the Complete Automated Trader as well. The 15 Minutes course goes deeper than those two, and this is more geared towards people that really want to trade crypto, but want to reduce the time in front of the screen trading to no more than 15 minutes a day. It comes with one-on-one coaching. You pay once for the course. You don't pay for updates. You don't pay monthly or yearly. You don't, any of that stuff. Okay. And it comes with free signals that are available through AllTrading, the TBT signals, which have been running for the last 5 years, since November 2020. And then it comes with trend trading strategies using the TBO, the trending breakout indicator, and AB trading strategies, plus a 1-month trial to the Better Traders Club. And are also links to sign up for Femex and BYDFi down below. So definitely sign up to those exchanges with the links that are provided there. So let's get into it. I have some picks for you guys today. I'm really excited about this week. And I think it's going to be an amazing week, an amazing start of a recovery. Now, I want to address something before I get to the picks. When Bitcoin dropped below my level, my must-hold level, back over here. So if we go back to this, and it lost this at 105, that to me, I'm out. I'm done. Now, I sold most of my alts, and then I bought a lot of them back here on the dip. I'm not personally looking at buying more Bitcoin here. Even though Bitcoin might be on track to go up higher, maybe. Personally, I feel like there's a better risk to reward. There's a better potential return on investment, is what I really mean to say, when it comes to a lot of the picks that I'm sharing with you guys. Just because BTC moving at 1% feels amazing, but that's normal for Bitcoin. I mean, 1% moves up and down are cool, but we've seen so many charts, even like BARD over the weekend, ever since Friday, really, BARD has moved up 20%, excuse me. And this is also after the TBT Bullish Divergence that I shared with you guys last week. So it's up 19%. It's looking amazing. Charts like this will wildly outperform Bitcoin in terms of returns. They are more volatile. So I understand a lot of you that are Bitcoin maxis. I understand that you don't really like me sharing these coins, but the idea is that I'm a trader. Again, my company, the Better Traders. You have to trade to make some money, and you also have to follow the money. So the reason why I'm focusing more on others right now, and definitely a lot more on alts, is because of these amazing signals that I'm seeing for all 5 of these charts and a potentially bearish reversal for Bitcoin dominance, which will be amazing for alts. So these are my picks, but I also have some of your requests. If you have coins you want me to check out, leave a comment down below letting me know what you want me to look at. No promises, no guarantees. And also, if you haven't hit the like button yet, do it before you forget, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're really, really awesome, then you'll share this video with your friends and family to help me reach my target of 100,000 subs this year. There's still time. It's still possible, 100%. So let's get into it. All of these light blue flags right here are showing coins that have some TBO breakouts. So the trending breakout indicator, the TBO for short, shows us the strength of the trend, which right now BARD is strong bullish. It's above the cloud. And it also tells us if there are bullish breakouts happening. So the TBO, the BO part right here, is the breakouts. So we had breakouts on Wednesday last week, 1, 2, 3. The price retraced back down, and it's now since pumped 17%. I actually expect this to go up a lot more, only based off the fact that this is a new listing. Now, this long lower wick right here messes a lot of stuff up. So I am really debating where to put the fib levels here, because this is really a scam wick. So if I wanted to say, okay, let's ignore that and just choose one of these bottoms right here, 61.33, then this is actually at a great price because it's between the 236 and the 382 Fibonacci retracement. What does that mean? Well, if we convert this to percentages, right now the price is between 23 and 38% from its all-time high. So it's actually down about 46% from its all-time high. So the reason why this is actually a good spot is because if you're looking for a good return on investment for oversold altcoins, you want to identify charts that are kind of around here for this early phase before they start pumping like crazy. This is ideally what you want to do, especially for new listings. For coins that are already established, it becomes a little bit more difficult. But the idea is this. The further up the price goes in terms of the Fibonacci levels, the less risk there is. So as we watch BARD work its way up, which I believe will happen, it becomes less high risk the higher it goes. So it's lower risk, less high risk. Aaron, please. So it's lower risk up here because the trend has been established. It's going to be very high risk buying below the 236 before the price breaks out higher. But of course, if you are, following Matt Damon's slogan from the crypto.com commercial to the victor go the spoils. No, what does he say in that? Oh my gosh. I need to someone add the link to that video in the comments. That's hilarious. It's still so funny to me because I remember when we went into the bear market, there was some girl cursing out Matt Damon saying, I never should have listened to you. So anyway, when we have a higher risk, that's usually where we're going to make a lot more money. You could still make good money on a chart like this, but the higher up it goes, then the less possible returns you might get, which is why everyone's trying to find charts early, right? Spent too much time explaining that, but you get the idea. Same concept applies over here to like DCR, okay? So DCR has been cursed for a long time down here, right? And this is a much, much larger spread in terms of the Fibonacci retracement, right? It fell down all the way here. So the best place to buy and accumulate is below the 236 for the best bang for your buck, ideally, right? But the closer it gets up here to the top, potentially it has less risk, I guess you could say, maybe. But it's also massively overbought. And it had a great pump yesterday, 41%. So I want to help you guys with one quick concept before I kind of just go boom, 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 boom through a lot of these charts. I believe we're getting to the point of the market where it actually doesn't hurt to look at everything that's pumped. So we're just going to use this massive list that I have of all these coins. I have to reset it. Come on. So what you can actually do, which sounds a little bit insane because it is, when the market's getting massively, massively pumpy, what you can do is actually use a screener to find out which charts have actually been really, really bearish. Like which charts have dumped in the last 24 hours, like massively, massively dumped. Why? Because if charts have recently pumped, and this is going to sound counterintuitive to some, and it's okay. But for example, high, which isn't on my watch list at all, but for the sake of an argument, it pumped big time over the weekend. Then it fell down a lot. Finding charts that have pumped like crazy and they have a huge drop, we're almost at that part of the market where we will see coins just go, nope, we're good. We literally saw this happen with several coins last week. I'm going to show you those in a second. So DCR, I'm not that surprised that it's pumped this high. And I think we're going to see a lot of coins do this. So it's a risky play, but looking for coins that are just massively oversold after a huge pump, you're basically betting against the fact that the market will bounce back, especially these charts that were previously super duper pumpy, and it's going to keep going higher. Okay, moving on. Litecoin on the 4-hour time frame confirmed its first TBO breakout. It's pretty high after the move, but this is the last one. And some of you guys were laughing at me in the comments. Feel free to laugh and giggle all you want. Litecoin is going to be heading up to $135. Okay, the last time I got up to this range, it marked the top for the previous rallies. So here's December, marked the top. Here's pre-dump in February. Here's the July rally. Here's July. And then August, it goes up higher. It pumped up again in October before everything dumped. It's going to go back up here. This is the level that Litecoin has to break above around $130. If Litecoin pushes above $130,000, it's going to be the next Zcash, the next DCR, the next Dash, the next DGB, whatever. Because Litecoin is one of the remaining OG utility coins that hasn't really pumped yet. And usually when Litecoin pumps, it's the last one to pump. Mina, 4-hour time frame TBO breakout cluster. NIBI, TBO breakout on the daily still. This one is extremely low volume, but there's volume coming into this one that you've got to pay attention to. So it is very interesting. Rose, I think this is also Oasis, TBO breakout cluster. XMR, Monero, TBO breakout, a third one, and it actually wicked all the way up. Wow, to its all-time high. That's a huge deal. So it moved up to 469, the high from back over here in 2017. The high before that was over here at what? I have to zoom in so I can see it properly. 517. So that, excuse me, is the all-time high. The high that we're looking at right here is from 2017. It's almost there. If XMR Monero goes up higher because the privacy coin narrative is rallying, then the next target to look for is going to be around $1,000 or so. If we take this high here to this guy, it's kind of scattered a little bit. We'll see. All right, now for these orange flags, these are showing us bullish reversal potential with TBO close shorts, like we talked about for Bitcoin and Ethereum and TOTALE50, and also the other ones as well, others BTC on the daily time frame. So we're really waiting for the price to come back down to touch the TBO Fast Line. Why? It's just an oversold little bounce before it goes up higher. That's what we're waiting for. Cody, it already had one of these on Friday. It touched on Sunday. It pumped up 81%. Fetch finally closed it, but it printed another one yesterday. IP on the 4-hour time frame, two TBO close shorts close together. This is one that's been oversold for quite a while. I am expecting this one to return back up, not just up to here, but a lot higher. Mantle is slowly moving up higher. This is one that we talked about last week, saying, well, if it breaks below here, it's going to be really disastrous. So if it's going to bounce, it's got to bounce from here. And it's been doing a really good job recovering since Friday. On the 4-hour time frame, looking nice. Near, on the 4-hour time frame, wait, this shouldn't be here. Wait, on the weekly time frame, that's right. Sometimes I get my time frames mixed up. TBO close short on the weekly. That is a big deal. Is it the first one for this chart? Let me see. It is. Look at how amazing Fibonacci levels have also plotted resistance. So if near can break above this 382 level, another 7 to 10%, next target's going to be up here. This white line right there. That's the next thing to watch out for. It's pretty clear. That's really exciting. All right, Pump. Pump is actually showing some signs of life again, and a TBO close short. iExec, RLC, TBO close short got closed, so that one's done. Starknet, this one had a TBO close short. The price has not come back down. I am looking at Starknet as one of those coins that I'm expecting it to do well. I'm going to stop. Uniswap, TBO close short on the daily time frame. That's them. Now, all these green flags are showing off bullish reversals or TBT bullish divergences, or like the clusters that are here, the white flags, the white tags, or bullish things that are happening with volume or the TBO. So Aave, ADA has 2 TBT bullish divergences, API 3, TBT bullish divergence back here at this really strong support level. Finally seeing a nice bounce from there. Aster, second TBT bullish divergence confirmed. Dash, this one is having a TBO springboard bounce. Have to explain that real quick for all of you that are new. When we have a bullish uptrend and the price is overbought and it's overextended from this thick green line, what happens is typically we get overbought and then it has a little bit of a cool off period. And then finally it touches or tags the fast line, giving us an entry. So we move it up here and we trade it to this red dotted line, which is TBO resistance. This has happened multiple times for this chart for Dash. We got one right here, for 28%. Another one right here again for 28%. And then we have another one that's in process. It's going to be for about 37%. So TBO springboard bounces are basically pullbacks, but this thick green line is giving us a target of where we can enter. Floki, a second TBT bullish divergence. Game, TBT, not TBT bullish divergence, but this one is just looking strong bullish. Yesterday up 18%. It's already up 10%, going right here to TBO resistance again. Link, TBT bullish divergence. This is the second one that we've seen. Marinade, this one is very risky on the 4-hour time frame. It's a TBT bullish divergence cluster. If you like dumpster diving, this is the chart to watch. It's basically at this historical support level. If it's going to bounce from here, it's an amazing entry, but it's also extremely risky. I will say that I'm personally not interested in dumpster diving right now, but it has a huge possible return on investment. OKB, yes. The OKX token, TBT bullish divergences and a cluster, and it's actually working on a TBO close short. Wow, that just popped up. Rarible, 2 TBT bullish divergences on the daily. Useless. I hope some of you got some of this. If you have actually made, a decent return on some of these charts that I'm sharing with you guys, leave a comment. Like, at least give me some props here. Like, I'm putting in time to find these charts for you guys. It came down here to TBO support on Tuesday the 4th. A lot of up and down, and then finally it's up 50% from there. Amazing. Wormhole, second TBT bullish divergence. XPL, I'm expecting this one to also continue shooting up a lot higher. Very similar to the other new listings that I shared before, like Bard, like Nibby, like, no, not like Stark, although this is not a new listing at all. It's pretty old. Aster, very similar, right? So that's what I'm also expecting here for XPL. ICP got really close to tagging overhead resistance here at $10. It topped out at 9.83 on Saturday. Had a pretty nasty sell-off yesterday. That caused RSI to go lower. I've been telling you guys day after day, when RSI is getting above 90, pay attention. This is like danger zone, okay? Daily volume got crazy on Saturday. Absolutely crazy. That has to be the top. Crazy volume. On the 4-hour time frame, TBT bearish divergence. And look at 4-hour RSI. Isn't that wild? So we've already been receiving the signs that if you're in a position for ICP and you see RSI putting in lower highs on every single pump, lower high, these are cues letting you know weakness is starting to fade on this chart. And then we got a TBT bearish divergence on Sunday. Over here on these guys right here. So sorry, this is pink. Come on, Aaron. This is pink because they have a TBT bearish divergence on the 4-hour. These two are red flags because, not that there's red flags about them, but that I think that these are still must watch. 2Z has a TBT bullish divergence confirmed on Saturday's candle. It's in process of printing an open short. Don't worry about that. It's just because it's a new chart that's rallying. Nothing yet on the 4-hour time frame, but I still think that 2Z will be doing well. Aerodrome is back above overhead resistance. This chart's crazy. It fell all the way back down here to TBO support on the 4th, and it's right back up 50%. Absolutely nuts. Now on to your requests. Pendle. This one is slowly making its way back up. On the 4-hour time frame, it has 2 TBO close shorts. It's still very strong bearish. But if the entire market decides, okay, we're ready to turn around now, it will follow. That's the same thing for everything. Filecoin, this one had an incredible show last week, Thursday and Friday, up almost 200%. It's dragged down since then. Remember the chart for DCR? That's basically what I'm expecting to have happen here. So you could be looking at the TBO Fast Line, which is at about $2.05 for a possible entry, maybe. AIOZ, TBT bullish divergence here. No closed shorts yet. It's still very much strong bearish on the daily time frame. On the weekly time frame, it's very bearish. But weekly RSI down at 21.19. This would be an amazing RSI reset on the weekly, but AIOZ has to admittedly close up this week after being, 5 weeks red? So it really needs to pick up from here. Celestia. Yeah. Celestia. Tia. Crazy pump on Friday. A lot of things pumped. But the main thing, and this is really interesting, the main thing that is noteworthy with a lot of these charts that pumped on Friday is that if they're back inside of the cloud, this is the first real push inside of the daily TBO cloud that TIA has seen since September. A push above this fast line right here, the pink line, into the cloud is a transition or a change from being strong bearish to being in bullish consolidation. Bullish meaning up, consolidation meaning price action like this, but the goal is to move back up here above the cloud. Morpho, kicking myself a little bit because I really wanted to take a long on Morpho, but I got too busy last week with all the craziness. But it's moved up really nicely. It's back above this support/resistance level. Syrup is also making a nice move up here. The next target is TBO resistance at about 60 cents. SUI is still strong bearish. It hasn't moved back inside of the cloud yet. On the 4-hour time frame, it does have TBO close shorts, which is nice, but they're really high above that support level. And last but not least is Injective Protocol, TBT Bullish Divergence on Friday. It's not yet inside the cloud, but it looks like it will be headed there. The macro trend is still bearish. On the weekly, it's still very bearish, but this would be the place where it should bounce. If it starts to rally, this would be the level to watch, is right here below $20 or so. We'll see. I don't see anything else saying like, oh yeah, it's definitely going to rally from here. But right now, keep your eyes on BTC. It's leading the way. We still have some CME Gaps, new ones, that need to be closed. There's no guarantee that it's going to be closed today. But keep an eye on others dominance. Keep an eye on stablecoin dominance, which is continuing to plummet. I still expect things to go well. The market's recovering way better than I was expecting it to. But make sure that you stick to your trading plan, even if that means that you're going to be shorting some of these short-term pumps that happen. And protect profit. And please take profit on the way up. Please, 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 please. Before you go, speaking of shorting, I made a video yesterday that uses the TradingView screener for the daily, the 4-hour, and the hourly time frame to find short-term pumps or weak pumps that you could short, expecting the price to go back down. It's a risky strategy right now as the market's looking a little bit more exciting and bullish, but it will pay off really well in the bear market as charts getting these little weak pumps as they go down lower like a flopping dead fish on the beach. Watch this video, and until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.